Hello and welcome to Never Seen It, a podcast about movies we haven't seen yet. My name is Trent. I'm here with my wife, Betsy.
That's me.
I'm hosting today's episode because we're watching yet another weird movie. This one is called Under the Skin. Betsy, neither of us have seen this movie. This was my suggestion because I've heard some stuff about it.
Correct.
And again, we're going after weirdness here, and you can't get much weirder than an alien succubus feminist movie. So, Betsy, other than that, do you know anything about this movie?
I genuinely do not. I had never heard of this movie, despite the fact Scarlett Johansson is the star.
A huge star. Because this movie came out in 2013. Well after the Iron Man movies blew up and she was like...
Avengers was already out.
Yeah, the first Avengers was already out. She was a big name. And for her to kind of go backwards and do this very small, very indie movie that is very strange was a big deal.
Right. And I only just heard about this because somebody you follow was talking about it.
Yeah.
I genuinely, other than you knowing about it because someone told you in a roundabout way.
Sure.
I have no idea what this is.
We were just watching one of those like countdown list things on YouTube. And
Watch
it was
Mojo or something.
One of those, yeah. It was a top 10 sci-fi movies that completely bombed at the box office, but has aged very well, like has found a following and are very much appreciated, even though they didn't make a lot of money.
Right. We talked about covering this a few months ago when we were doing cult movies.
Yeah.
But the problem is because it's not a widely known movie, it's hard to get.
Yeah, it is now, as we record this, available on HBO Max.
Which shocked the hell out of us.
Yeah, because when we started to really talk about that movie, like we currently have a Netflix DVD service or Blu-ray stuff, and that's been at the top of our list for months. And it just hasn't been sent to us until recently.
We finally got it.
We finally got it, and sure enough, it's during the time when we're doing this series. So we're absolutely going to do this, especially now that it's streaming for everybody else who wants to participate. Because I fully expect not a lot of you guys who are listening have seen this movie.
Or like me, have even heard
or even
about this.
heard of it, yeah. But it is very much beloved by the people who like this kind of movie.
Yeah, so I like a good sci-fi. We're doing this series. I like
Yeah.
a good weird movie.
And we like Scarlett Johansson.
So we've got ScarJo's in this.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody else.
No.
I don't know who directed it. I don't know anything about anything.
But like I said, the things that I can glean from the descriptors that I've seen out there, she is like an alien succubus.
For the listeners who don't know, what is a succubus?
A like alien creature that preys on men.
Not necessarily an alien. It's
Not
like
necessarily,
a demon or something.
Yeah, some
it?
kind of demon creature thing.
In this case, though, she is an alien.
A succubus is portrayed as a female.
Okay.
Going after men.
Okay.
Yes, but apparently it is some kind of feminist message. I don't know anything more than that.
Down with the patriarchy.
But you can't really talk about it about this movie without really revealing what it is. But like plot wise, what happens at the end, what happens during it, I don't have a goddamn clue.
If she's an alien, I don't know how she gets to Earth, why she's on Earth.
Nope, I have no clue. Yeah, this is gonna be a short intro because we know dick about this movie. So we're gonna go watch Under the Skin. We will be right back. And we are back. Betsy, that was Under the Skin, our third weird movie. What did you think of that one?
we were going for weird, and we got weird.
Very much a different kind of perspective than the last movie we covered.
Well, the last two, because the last two have been very comedic at moments, or very much intentionally comedic. This is anything but.
Yeah, this is anything but that. It is just kind of weird and ethereal, and it's leaving the audience to determine the answers to the questions they have.
Right. So you said at the beginning, this is a movie about an alien who comes to Earth. Okay, the only indication of that for most of the movie is at the beginning, there is some lights floating above a building. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah. We don't really get much more than that. And again, there's some like the very, very intro sequence is very much a mystery. You don't know what's going
abstract.
On. It's abstract lighting and
there's a lot of abstract stuff.
Depictions of eyes and lights and it's weird. And it's not fucked up. It's not disturbing in hardly any way.
No, it's just mostly there's not a lot happening.
Yeah.
And you have to glean from what little you're given what it is that is really going on. Mm-hmm. So first thing before we dive into this, this is again completely inadvertent, audience. I assure you, we may as well have called this series up to this point the A24 series because all three of our weird movies to date have been produced by A24.
The first one was, okay, this makes sense for this kind of a movie. A24 will absolutely distribute Swiss Army Man, the thing about the dude with the corpse.
But we're getting earlier and earlier. We were in 2015 for the last movie. Now we're in 2013.
And then it was just a kind of a coincidence that the second one, okay, fine, another A24 joint.
About a guy who wants to be a lobster.
And then this one, another A24 joint. So shit, man.
Right. Okay, we'll give you a sneak preview. The last one is not A24. It's not. Because
we could have, though.
We could have. I feel like at this point, we could have just picked 4 off of that list because I know that is what that company is known for making, is these weird movies that most people would never put money behind.
They give filmmakers who will never get sold to a major studio. They give filmmakers a chance to make their art.
Yes.
And they're not like the art house kind of a thing, because we watched Swiss Army Man. That is very much not an art piece, but you wouldn't see this movie made anywhere else.
No, but I would say this one is much closer to an art house piece.
Oh, yeah.
I made the comment while we were watching it. This almost feels like it could have been a student film. If you took Scarlett Johansson out of this, it is completely devoid of anybody else that you have ever seen in anything. Usually, I know, okay, this is a really European, this is set in Scotland, it's a lot of Scottish actors, but they're nobody.
And these are also not actors, too. Apparently, Biker Man is not an actor. He's just a motorcycle guy. I read that.
Okay.
So
yeah, there's nobody of any consequence, and you could have made this movie conceptually for nothing.
The only things you wouldn't be able to do without help are the void scenes.
Yes.
There's a white void, there's a black void, and then there's the goop that they walk into.
There's an underwater void.
Under quote-unquote water.
Yeah.
And that's it. The rest of it could be you walking into a dark room.
It's a woman driving around Scotland in a van trying to get dudes to get in the van with her.
Pretty much.
And then it's a woman wandering around the woods.
Mm-hmm. And along the Scottish countryside.
Yeah.
That's about it.
So I'm going to have to stew on this one for a little while. I didn't dislike it, but because it's so little there, you are really having to digest it all to interpret it how you think it should be interpreted.
Sure.
Because I would also fully expect no script existed for this movie other than this is what she's going to do.
Yeah, there's a rough idea of what's going to happen, how many people that it takes her to get to the point, and what is the trigger to have it turn.
Yeah, because the dialogue is not difficult. She's basically just saying,
Yeah.
I'm lost.
Yeah.
Where are
She's
you
doing
going?
The hitherto Scarlett Johansson,
Yeah.
like airy, breathy voice that I love so much.
Just making conversation.
Yeah.
So, and there's long swaths of just silence.
Oh yeah, there's barely any dialogue in this movie.
I would be fascinated to know her salary for this movie because her per word fee was probably pretty high.
Sure. And who knows if she even took like a big paycheck for it. Maybe she just really wanted to do it.
Maybe. Because this is the kind of project that you just like sign on because it's interesting, not because you're in to make a payday.
Sure.
She didn't need a payday. I think around this time she was like the highest paid actress in Hollywood.
She knew that she had a lot more paydays coming up. So she better do her art house pieces now before the studios that she's working for won't let her.
Correct.
That's how I interpret that.
So yeah, there's not a lot to this movie. There's barely any dialogue. The music is pretty minimal. When it is eerie as fuck, and I do not know what sound is producing those noises.
Well, there's like even like weird alien sounds.
Yeah.
Like
it's like metallic.
I don't know how to describe it, but it's something out of a sci-fi movie, which this is.
It feels like machinery. It feels like alien sounds. It's weird. It's very weird.
Drink every time you hear us say weird.
Please don't. You are probably going to hear it a lot today.
Yeah. But do you want to just go through the bits here? Because I don't think there's a better way to do this other than, hey, let's just kind of go beat by beat as to where we think everything is going.
Yeah, this one makes the most sense that it feels like I have to start at the beginning so I can piece it together myself.
Yeah, and I wrote down a whole lot of notes, not because I had a lot of thoughts about it. I just wanted to say, okay, she starts here, and then this happens, then this happens.
Meanwhile, I took next to no notes because nothing was happening.
Exactly.
Per se.
Right.
But yeah, the movie begins, and it's just like a dark screen with a light in the middle. And I was like, are we going through a tunnel on a train? And then it just turns into like these weird abstract like space, like black hole.
Yeah, it looks like a
voids.
donut in space.
And then it turns into like an eyeball. It kind of looked like an eyeball. And you just hear her making sounds, like testing out sounds of the English language, going ta, 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 ba, ba,
yeah, you know it's her just because I know her.
And she's just making sounds.
Yeah.
So she's
like
learning the language.
Testing out her mouth. Really? That's really what's happening.
Sorry. No, the fact that you use that exact phrase, when I went and visited my friends over in London, one of them was making a weird face one day, and I was like, what are you doing? And I swear to God, her response was, I'm testing out my mouth.
Okay. I don't think I heard this story.
The fact that you chose that particular set of words.
And she's also she's doing an English accent in Scotland.
She is.
Yeah.
And then you've got a whole lot of Scotsmen speaking incomprehensible English.
And I have to imagine that was by design. Like, you weren't going to, like, tell them, you know, guys, we're making kind of a feature film here, maybe clean it up. No. That's all intentional, because I think her being in this situation where she's an alien and isn't going to understand, is having a hard time understanding the actual language, much less understanding it from a wild Scotsman.
It's also, there's little moments in this movie to demonstrate that she is an alien. Like any other person, like you or me, the average viewer, watches that and can only get about every other word of what they're saying.
Like when she's on the bus and the bus driver's talking to her and the guy who picks her up.
I'm just like, he said something about a jacket?
You're going to catch your death of cold and blah, blah, blah. I got none of that.
No, so she is just kind of going along with it. Like, it doesn't matter what they're saying. She's going to say whatever it takes to get these dudes into the van. She's just trying to get information from them, which is, are you alone? Do you live alone?
Yeah.
Do you have a girlfriend? Do you have family?
Yeah.
Things like that.
But let's go back to the beginning here. So we start off, we're watching a motorcycle in the night driving along the road, and the motorcycle stops on the side of the road. I'm thinking, okay, he's a dude, he's going to go take a leak down below. Fine, that happens all the time. But no, he comes back with a body.
Slung over his shoulder.
Slung over his shoulder, a woman. And there's a white van sitting there. And presumably, he's going to take the body into the white van. Then we cut to a white void.
And the body is now on the ground.
And the body is on the floor, whatever this white void happens to be. And then we see Scarlett Johansson.
Naked as the day she was born.
She's naked in this movie
There's a lot of naked people in this movie.
So she proceeds to take the clothes off of this dead woman's body. And this is the thing that I just kind of read about. I needed to have some answers here because this did not make sense. My understanding here, and this is just somebody else's interpretation I happen to agree with, this lady was another alien.
Okay.
And she was discarded by the side of the road. The biker dude is there to pick her up. Salvage and replace her with a new unit. And this new unit is the Scarlett Johansson character.
I mean, that would make sense as to why the van is there.
Yeah.
Why she is down there. Mm-hmm. Whether she just killed herself or she died or was attacked.
I mean, these aliens, these women are going after unsavory dudes. So
except that's the thing. Most of these dudes, they're not that unsavory.
They're dudes, though.
They're just skeezy dudes looking to get their dick in something.
Or not, in this case. But that's a separate thing. Anyway, so that's my understanding here, and I think that makes a lot of sense.
I think that also makes a lot of sense because it's like, why would he be retrieving a body just to get her clothes? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Why did you even know that there's a body down there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. So,
okay.
Biker dude seems like he's like the handler of these women vessels, who is going out to pick up these men, which we'll get to in a little bit as to why.
But yeah, we just see her undressing this body, and then she puts on all of those clothes, and then she picks up an ant off of the body and just sort of examines it. And there's a few moments like that in this movie. What do you make of that?
I mean, I think
just observing the condition of
an alien
life
who is like regarding life. It's life in one of its smallest visible forms is an ant.
And she's not interested in killing it. No. And she's not interested in doing anything with it.
Just regarding it, looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she does that a few times in this movie. Mm-hmm. But the more she does it, the more humanity she seems to pick up.
She's very observant of humanity. Because I guess that's her job. Mm-hmm. Whatever you want to call it. And then after she gets the clothes, she kind of walks off screen. And then we kind of cut to the next day. Where she's like outside and she gets into that white van. Presumably to take over the job of the other gal that she's taking over for, I guess. And then we, I guess, cut to night.
They go to the mall. She goes to the mall and buys clothes.
That's right. She goes to the mall and buys clothes.
So she has a concept of the mall and money and makeup.
Yeah. So she needs to like make herself up to be some hussy who anybody's going to want to get with.
I guess.
Which, hey, it's Scarlett Johansson. You don't need any makeup.
Except she's not even really... she's maybe borderline hussy.
She puts makeup on, she's wearing a skirt, and that's about it.
Everything is very tight.
Sure. And yeah, after she leaves the mall, you can see, like, she's starting to, like, drive around in this van and, like, surveying men. It is only men
it's
that the
like
camera...
It's like a supercut of men.
Yeah, it is the camera is zooming in only on men and then following them around, and presumably this is her perspective looking at all these guys. Mm-hmm. It's in the middle of the day. She's
looking for a guy.
Whatever.
Who's the guy? Who am I going to grab?
Yeah, and like maybe like learning who might be a good target, who might not be. Because they look at everybody, all ages, all colors,
young,
all everything,
old.
Whatever. But we wait until the nighttime, and you pointed out it looks like a soccer game just got out.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of people in matching colors and
sure. They're all on the
street,
walking in the street, just kind of going away from somewhere, and she's going against the grain.
Yeah, she's trying to drive through that traffic.
Right. And we've gone out of a professional ball game before. You're not going anywhere. You just wait.
No, there's too many people.
Yeah. But she finds the guy and is like asking for directions. She goes to a couple of different guys and asks for directions.
And she doesn't get a satisfactory answer. It's like...
Not right away.
They don't give the right answer. Like one of them, his girlfriend calls him over.
Right.
She is definitely looking for people who won't be missed right away.
Well, she's looking for people who are, number one, alone. Number two, live alone. Number two, don't have any friends or girlfriends or family.
In the area, at least.
In the area, exactly. And she asks all the right questions as to whether or not, okay, you don't have a girlfriend. And that's also kind of a flirtatious thing, too, that she's doing.
Oh, sure. She is, like, not even hesitating. She's just
she's
like,
laying it on thick.
Do you think I'm pretty?
Right.
Do you like how I look?
Hi, let me give you a better look at my chest.
Yeah, it's a lot of that right off the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the first guy she picks up, we don't actually see what happens to
Yeah,
him.
he gets into the van, they kind of drive off, and then it cuts to the next day, and he's not there.
Or like
at least
in the
a little bit
future
later.
somewhere,
Yeah, whatever
yeah.
time later it is, we cut, and the chair is empty next to her. So that's number one guy who disappears.
Yep.
And then we get more of her kind of driving around. She picks up yet another guy, and then we get a little bit more. Like, we get the first scene of her taking them back to whatever place this is, which every time she goes back to a place, it is an absolute shithole, which I guess these aliens are just finding a place that they can just turn into their black void of goo.
Yeah, it's like an abandoned house, but we don't see that right away. We just see the front of the building, and she goes in.
It's just dark shadow that we walk into, going into this black void, and that's almost it. We get a little bit of the...
Basically,
it happened this time. I don't remember what time it happens.
The second time we get a little bit more. So she takes this dude into what looks like this abandoned shithole of a house.
Yeah.
But on the inside, this was a cool sequence. So this room is all black, but the floor is very shiny. So if you watch like the first season, first season of Stranger Things, the first time you go into the Upside Down, it's just this really big, vast room, but there's a reflection on the floor.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know exactly how they accomplish this, if it's just a mirrored floor in a black room, but it looks really cool. And this dude is just getting naked, and she's getting naked, and he's following her.
Yeah, and every time they go into the void, she's like tempting them to come inside. Come
hither, like come closer, come closer.
I'm gonna start taking this off, and you better start following me. But then the more they come in, the more they kind of sink down into this goo.
Yeah, it's like literally this transition where they walk downstairs into water, but it's like black oil.
Nothingness.
And they disappear into this space.
Yeah.
So it's a cool effect.
Yeah.
I don't know how they accomplish it.
And at this point, we don't really know what the hell is happening. Nothing's happening to her.
Nope.
But this is clearly her intent.
Yep.
She's leading these guys here
to their doom.
To whatever their fate.
And then she just puts on her clothes and goes back out to look for more dudes.
Yeah. But again, we get more. There's a lot of like really quiet moments where it's just the camera's on her, or the camera's looking out the window at the Scottish countryside, or whatever the fuck they're doing. But there's a lot of like really good ambient sounds and lights of the night, because you can see like street lights going by,
car noises,
just street noises in general. And yeah, it's shot really well, and it makes you really feel like you're in the car, in the van with her.
And again, like I said, it just feels very low budget.
Yeah.
It's just her in a van.
Pretty much. But yeah, that's kind of throughout the entire movie. But then next day we cut to morning, and we're on the beach.
Yeah, why she's at the beach, I don't know.
Looking for a dude. She sees a dude out in the water.
But this is like so out of the way of where she was.
I don't know.
There's no real reason other than, again, to set up more of the character without like saying anything.
Yeah.
So they show she's at the beach and there's like a dude out there swimming. Meanwhile, there's a husband, a wife, and a toddler with their dog playing off on the other side of the beach.
And then the first guy comes in and they start talking. He reveals, oh yeah, I'm from the Czech Republic. And she's like, asking, well, why are you here?
I'm living in that tent over there. I just wanted to get away from it all.
I just wanted to get away. And, she's doing her thing. But then off in the distance, we hear maybe some screaming, or they hear some screaming. And You pointed this out. I couldn't really see.
So yeah, the other people that were at the beach had a dog, and the dog was swimming, and these are like really big waves. So the dog starts getting washed out to the ocean.
Yeah.
And the woman panics and goes after the dog.
Right.
Then she starts getting washed out.
Yeah.
So the husband goes after her.
Not realizing that there's also like an 18-month baby on the beach.
Well,
we don't find out till later.
They showed the baby.
Okay, I didn't see that till later.
Yeah, you just were paying attention to what she was doing, but they do show the couple, like dad's playing with the baby while mom's watching the dog.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so the guy she was talking to goes in after the three of them, trying to rescue them.
Right, and the Czech guy, comes in and rescues the dude initially, and is like washes back on the beach, and he's exhausted.
Yeah, he barely manages to rescue this man,
right,
who just immediately goes back into the water.
And he just goes right back
wife.
out. Yeah, exactly. And I don't know why she does this. Maybe just a mercy thing. I have no idea.
Again, I think it's just to set up the character without saying anything. So she is watching this whole thing unfold. She is standing about 150 feet away on the beach with her hands in her pockets.
Nonchalantly walking over there.
Not moving, not speaking, not freaking out, not reacting. Mm-hmm. She's just standing there watching.
Yeah.
So she just watched a dog and two people die on the beach. And then this guy is passed out, or just about, because he's exhausted.
Still alive.
And she picks up a rock and conks him over the head.
Yeah.
And then she is dragging his body across the beach, and this toddler is crying alone on the beach.
Yeah.
And she leaves the kid there.
Mm-hmm.
So it is to demonstrate she has a single focus, and she doesn't give two shits about that baby.
Right. And then she brings the body into the van, like lifeless, and straps him in and takes him away.
And we get another scene where the dude on the motorcycle goes,
yeah.
Now explain this. Was he trying to just clean up the fact that he was there? What was he doing? Because he was like futzing around with his tent.
Did she? So yeah, first we get the scene of him going to the guy's tent and like cleaning it out. I don't know exactly what he was doing, but I think he just cleaned up after the guy.
The only thing I can guess is he's trying to make it look like he wasn't there.
Sure. And then the dude goes to the beach. The biker guy goes to the beach, and I think maybe she left something there, like a coat, and he picks it up. The baby's still there and got like almost close to the water. He crawled or walked all the way to close to the water. And presumably, that baby got washed away in the water.
Yeah, because this guy walks right up to that kid, picks up the piece of clothing, and then walks away.
Right.
So yeah, this is very much the only reason this scene is there, to demonstrate these guys don't care.
The uncaring nature of these aliens, whatever they happen to be.
Yep. And just when you think, oh, he took the baby, or he went back because she hears a baby crying. Nope, different baby.
Nope, different baby, different car.
And later we get a report on the radio that entire family is missing.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, yeah. No, they all got washed out to the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
That was real fucked up. And she just was like, I gotta drag this body now.
And she didn't care about the married man or anything like that, because she's only going after people who are alone.
Yeah.
And presumably, again, that's number 3 by this point. I guess it doesn't matter that the dude was already dead, or maybe he was knocked out at least.
He was in the very least unconscious.
Yeah.
I don't think he was dead, because he kind of reacted when she clubbed him.
You would too. But yeah, so let's call it 3 bodies so far.
That's her body count.
Yep.
And then she just keeps driving some more. We're driving some more around Scotland. She's going to, she sees a guy walking to the club.
Yeah, so
but
there's
doesn't know what this is.
No, there's like a rave party going on. So she gets out, like, maybe he looks at her and she turns around, but then this group of girls comes by all in their party dresses and whatnot.
Bitches going to the club.
And they like accost her and like, hey, come on, join the party.
You're a pretty girl. We're pretty girls. Let's go be pretty girls together.
Yeah, she brings her in, or they bring her into this rave party.
Nightclub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's trying to escape.
She does not like this.
No, not at all.
She doesn't understand this space or what's going on, and she literally is trying to run out of there.
Yeah.
And just gets in like a maze because it's like an above ground and underground club.
Yeah, she keeps going downstairs and downstairs and downstairs until she finds a much lower key party. I guess in the same building. And the dude that she was following is there and hits on her.
Yep. And so she's very good in this movie of she's kind of dead in the face until she realizes she's sort of got someone on her hook.
Yeah.
And then she's like slowly smiles and starts flirting like, oh, I saw you when I was driving in here.
And then she asks the questions, the qualifying questions. Are you by yourself? And blah, blah, blah.
And she gets another one on the hook.
Yep. Gets into the goo again. But here we get a little bit more.
And it keeps advancing. So, okay, now we see the same thing. He goes into the goo. Again, naked dudes. More naked people.
When she starts to get more naked, the more people that she gets in there, because maybe it's starting to get harder. I don't know.
Yeah, I've noticed that too, where it's like she has to work harder at it the more people she brings in here.
But this guy, when he gets into the goo, he sinks down as she goes away, and it's all kind of blue.
We see it from his perspective, under like glass almost. Under,
kind of,
like if you were trapped under ice in a lake.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of what that was like.
But then he looks off into the distance and he sees another figure, another dude.
Another body.
One of the dudes that she had brought in there from before, but he looks kind of weird. Like his body looks not emaciated, but it looks kind of empty.
Like all of the bones and the muscles and the organs were gone.
Yeah, everything's just kind of been sucked out of him, and it's just skin.
Yeah, it's a skin suit.
The way Betsy described this while we were watching it is a perfect descriptor here. It's like the skin was a balloon and it popped.
It was really disturbing.
It was very disturbing.
The guy like reaches out, squeezes his hand, jumps back a little, and then the guy just goes, boop.
And then, like, the skin is all over the place. You can see the fingers, you can see the toes, you can see the face.
Sinking down in the
water.
water.
But there's nothing inside of the skin.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, think about a balloon that had just popped. Like, you can see all the flappy bits on it, and, oh, God.
And we're trying to understand, so we don't know, is it her feeding something? Is it feeding herself? Is it contributing to the alien colony? They don't explain
it. The scene right after that is like almost a conveyor belt. It's like a river of goo
like
going into this
hot
red
lava.
Yeah, it's like this goo going into this red thing. But we don't get an explanation of what that's about. We assume that it's all the inside bits of the dudes.
Going somewhere.
And
then it's just like a weird artistic red line, and then it's like cut to her looking for more dudes.
Yeah, more dudes. So that's the explanation, I guess.
Yeah. So I don't really know what exactly is happening there. Again, weird. Guys, don't take a shot every time we say weird. You're going to get drunk. It's going to be bad and sloppy.
Yeah, and then, like you said, the next day we get the radio bulletin about the dead family. She gets another dude on the hook, and this time we get a little bit more of the fact that she's a little bit off and not necessarily all the way human. It's like, I think the sun is going down, or it's like one of those times a day when you really should have sunglasses on or put your visor down because the sun is just beating right into you. And she's driving, eyes wide open, not squinting one bit while the sun is just beating in her eyes.
That would be really hard to do, even just acting it.
Oh, yeah.
Because to keep your eyes open while you're supposed to be pretending to drive, and there's just blasting sun in your eye, that's hard.
Maybe some of that was faked.
In post.
I don't know, but that right there is really hard to even imagine doing.
Definitely.
But yeah, she brings this guy into the void again. And then there's a few scenes here that I just don't get. Like, the biker guy shows up after this one, and they're standing in the dark on some cobblestone road, and the biker guy's just staring at her.
He's examining her. I think if you apply the logic that you said about the beginning, he's examining the equipment.
Sure.
Because he's looking into her eyes, and it's something about her eyes. Like, they show it later when she's, like, staring into her own eyes. It's like through the eyes you can actually see what's, to use the name of the movie, under the skin. And if he can see it, then he can figure out if it is or isn't visible because I don't think it's supposed to be visible.
No, it's supposed to be just an empty shell.
Yeah, but if he can see what's going on behind her eyes, that's a problem.
Sure.
So I think this is literally just an inspection.
Yeah, just making sure that, okay, everything's still the way it should be and you're not catching the feels on anybody. Okay, fine.
Yep. Because the next time she stops a guy, it's the middle of the night and there's this dude who is like a hood. He's wearing a hood.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what is going on with this dude? And when he gets in, he's very deformed. He's got like that elephant man thing where he's got like an enlarged head and really overly defined features. So he basically is going to the store at night because people won't see him.
Yeah, fewer people will see him and harass him.
Yep. And she just acts like it's normal. Again, this is a thing where demonstrating that she doesn't see humanity the way humanity sees humanity.
Right.
So she picks up this dude and just starts saying, do you have a girlfriend? Do you have friends? Which, of course, this guy is like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and of course, like, she looks at his hands and says, your hands are beautiful, and she touches his hands and says how soft they are. And most of these other guys are guys. Yeah. They have rougher hands. They have dirty hands.
They're coming from work. They came from the pub.
Yeah. This other guy seemingly doesn't really do anything or go anywhere. He just kind of exists. So, yeah. But before we even get to the next thing here, there was one more scene I wanted to mention. Her just walking down the street, tripping and falling on, like, basically on her face.
Yeah.
I just don't know what the point of that whole sequence was. Because when she gets up, like, she's down there for a while, and there's people around here trying to help her up. When she gets up, there's like little sections of the screen, the frame, that are blurry.
Again, this might just be she's malfunctioning.
Could be.
Like, we're getting the early signs that this unit is not working properly. Which is why she just falls flat on her face and then doesn't really react to it.
And doesn't get up right away.
No.
And I kept on thinking, is this movie more an examination of humanity in that, okay, some people are actually good and some people are not good? Is it her examining like who, like, she's going after bad people, quote unquote, or going after people who are not helpful in society, which is why she was like looking at the old man and like the younger man, and I don't really know. But the more we talk about it, the more the movie went on. It's more, no, she's just trying to find the most gullible man who are going to get into her van.
Who are not going to be missed.
Yeah.
At least not right away.
Sure. But then this guy, we were just mentioning, gets into the van, this deformed guy. He's literally pinching himself after she's like all over him and putting his hand on her neck and inviting him to touch her.
Yeah, don't you get lonely? When was the last time you touched someone?
This has never happened to him before. And he's literally pinching himself to make sure that he's not dreaming.
Yep. And she says, I have a place 30 minutes away.
30 minutes away.
Will you come with me? And he doesn't even say yes. He doesn't say no. She just buckles up and starts driving.
Yeah.
And he doesn't object.
And again, she brings him all the way into the void, and people are getting naked again. She gets all the way naked this time.
Yeah, she really has to work for this one.
Right.
Like, keep going. He's like, dreaming. I'm dreaming. And he falls into the goo, and she gets her clothes back on and walks out. But she stops at the bottom of the stairs and starts looking at herself. And there's some weird stuff with mirrors happening from here on out in the movie. She's looking at herself. No really reaction. She's just kind of looking there. But then off to the side, she sees a fly. Like a fly on the window, like trapped inside. And I don't know if that was some kind of trigger to her to like imagine being trapped. Well, and remember, this was also the sequence in the black void. There's a figure. So there is this black body that we don't really get a good look at. We don't know what that
kind of observing everything, and then like that body is superimposed on hers in the scene, and you don't really know if that's actually her or one of the biker guys.
Like, what?
Or like
is
this
that,
other
is that a body
handler.
at all? Like, it's hard to see.
Right, and we find out later that, yes, that is actually the alien body. Maybe of her or somebody else. I don't know.
No. So she has to work really hard to get this guy in. We see the black body.
Yeah.
And then she's staring at her eyes. And I don't know if you noticed this. If you looked at her left eye, it had like stars in it or something. Like it looked weird, like sparkly.
I didn't see that at all.
Yeah, it starts to look weird. And again, I think she's just starting to fall apart or something, because you're right. She sees the fly that's trapped and she's staring into her own face.
Yeah.
And suddenly she decides she's going to get out of here, but she lets the guy go.
She lets the Elephant Man guy go. And I mean, I guess she felt guilty. Is that the emotion that you would feel here?
I think so, because this is the first time she's shown anything remotely related, remotely resembling a human emotion.
Right, and this guy is different than any of the other guys that she brought back.
Yeah.
Because the other guys had intention, whereas in this case, she's the one doing everything.
Yep, she had to work hard.
He's along for the ride. So that's the only difference here in my mind.
So yeah, she lets this guy go, and then she just sort of freaks out and starts driving off into the distance.
Yeah, she just drives until she literally runs out of gas.
Yeah. But meanwhile, the other guy is just wandering the field naked.
Yeah.
And the biker dude comes and captures him.
Yeah.
So he does not get away.
Yeah.
He is immediately caught
Uh-huh.
and taken back to the void.
We assume anyway. We don't see it.
We don't see it,
Yeah.
but there's no other place that they would go.
Sure.
So yeah, she just drives until she runs out of gas and is out in like the fucking Scottish Highlands somewhere.
Right.
Without a coat.
Yeah, with no coat, and just wanders into a diner with people eating breakfast and whatever else. And for some reason, she orders a piece of cake.
This was the slowest bite in cinematic history.
Yeah.
Because she just like, with her left hand, cuts this little piece of the cake and very slowly, and this lingered for like a good 10 seconds.
So many long shots in this movie.
Yes.
And this is one of them that really stood out to me too.
So yeah, she finally gets it up to her mouth. She puts it in her mouth. She closes her mouth. And then she spits up the cake.
Yeah.
Because this is clearly not a human body that she
Right.
possesses.
Yeah.
She cannot eat human food.
Yeah.
So again,
And there's not even any chewing there. It's
Nope.
it's not like she's trying to swallow it or do anything with it in her mouth. She just blah.
Yep, spits it right back out. So we get a clear definition that she is not human,
Yeah.
but she is trying to experience humanity.
Sure.
So this is where it really starts
again-
turning more. She is feeling like a human.
Yeah, and like this is starting where we're gonna see more of her like being very, very observant. Like she's seen people eating, she's seen people drinking, she's seen people walking around and doing all the basic things.
But observant for a different reason.
Right. But this is where she like leaves the diner and she's just walking along the road and comes across this intersection where there's a dude just waiting for a bus, and the guy is nice and says, "Hey, there's going to be a bus coming right by in just a few minutes." So she goes over and takes shelter at the bus stop and waits for the bus, gets on the bus, and we've already kind of talked about that. And the people inside are like concerned about her.
It's like her and two dudes, the bus
Yeah.
driver and this one guy.
Yeah, this woman is out there by herself with
No
no
coat. It's
and
cold.
wandering around, and are asking her like, "Are you okay? Do you need help?" I don't know if she actually says anything there.
I think she finally realizes what they're trying to do.
Right.
Because she turns around and looks at the guy and says yes, I think.
Okay.
I think she says yes, I need
Okay.
like she doesn't say I need help, but she agrees yes
Yeah.
to the question I need help.
Yeah. So they're together, and he takes her to his place, wherever this happens to be, and it's a regular house. He seems to live by himself. It looks like a bachelor pad.
He's the kind of target she would be picking
Yeah.
for her little project.
Yeah, but this guy's being nice to her and put some beans on toast in front of her while they watch some TV, and he sets her up in a spare bedroom, puts a heater in front of her, and yeah, just is being a really nice person. You know, the kind of thing that you would do to a stranger that you just meet on the side of the road that clearly needs help. And she's not talkative, she's not saying anything, but
she doesn't say a word to him.
Hardly.
Like she doesn't have a name. This character doesn't have a name. He doesn't know who this is.
No.
But he is just being nice to be nice because she looks like she needs help.
Right. And
which is a new experience for her.
Sure. And like he's not trying to like advance on her or anything. He's just setting her up in a room saying, "Hey, the things that you would say, you know, bathrooms down the thing to the left. There's towels in here if you need them. I'm 3 doors down over here. If you need
good night.
If you need anything, knock on my door. Good night." So just being a decent human being. But then we get this other weird scene of her standing in front of the red hot light, naked again, looking at her body,
just examining herself.
Yeah, and she's never actually stopped to examine what she is, because she's got this programmed in her whatever that she has to go off and do this job.
She has no self-awareness.
No.
And this is the first time she does.
Yeah. So she's like discovering who she is and like looking at this body that she is inhabiting. And you mentioned something, I don't know if it's an actual thing or not, but you said that there might have been something like lesions on her her back or something.
Again, it's hard to say because it was all red light, and I don't know if it was just the cut of the film that we were looking at and I was just seeing it, or if it was actually there. It looked like she had kind of red scars down her back, like that's where, you know, she was tucked into her body.
I don't know.
It might not have been real. I don't know. It just looked kind of like it to me.
Yeah. But we get another shot of biker guy apparently getting with a bunch of other biker guys.
Reinforcements.
Yeah. So they're off looking for her. Yep. Because clearly the guy that she was supposed to, like, she put into the goo and brought out again and let it go, well, she shouldn't have done that. So she's going rogue or something's wrong with her.
We need to find her now.
We need to find her. So they're off looking for her. But then the next morning, the guy and her go off on a date?
Yeah.
Question mark?
Like they just go for a walk and he shows her like the ruins of a castle.
He carries her over a puddle so that she doesn't get all muddy.
All the chivalry you can choke down.
Right. And yeah, they're on this very windy castle. And he's being very gentle and like bringing her down and like
I don't know if she's cold or scared or what, but again, a human emotion she hasn't experienced where she like doesn't like being up that high.
Sure.
And he's leading her down while he's going down the stairs backwards and she's holding onto an old rope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then after they get out of there, they go back to his place. And then it's sexy times?
They start kissing on each other.
Yeah, and something that I wanted to mention here along with this, the night before, he brings her some tea, and I noticed that he was kind of trembling.
Yeah.
As you do with a cup and saucer, but he was more trembling. It was very, very intentional that he was doing that. Mm-hmm. Not that he was doing it, but the character was doing it. So I noticed that part, and then it happens again when he's like putting his hand on her face.
When they're kissing and
when they start
sexy.
to kiss and he's like trembling, and she puts her hand on his hand, and he stops.
Yep.
Trembling. So they start going at it. She takes off her pants, takes off her underpants, and tries to stick it in.
He's trying to stick it in, and it's not going well.
And I wrote down, tries to stick it in, no vag.
Yeah, because she realizes there's nothing down there.
Yeah, she freaks out, goes to the edge of the bed, grabs the lamp, and like spreads her legs and is like, oh my God, there's nothing down there.
Yep. So she hightails it out of there and runs into the woods.
She escapes, grabs a raincoat, and escapes to the woods.
So again, she's trying to experience this body and this humanity only to find that, you know, metaphorically and literally, she's not a woman.
Right. I don't know where you really could have gone from here. Like, I know how the movie ends, obviously, but where else could it have gone? Like, the biker guy could have gotten her and, like, reprogrammed her, or
replaced her,
like, killed her and replaced her with somebody else.
Yep.
Who the hell knows?
Because we just kind of get a couple of little shots of this guy trying to find her the rest of the movie.
Right.
And he doesn't.
And he never does, yeah.
No. So instead, she goes off into the woods by herself, and it's rainy and cold, and she runs into this dude who's like from a logging company.
Yeah.
And they just have a nice little chat about how, there's miles of beautiful scenery, and you can't get lost, and just
There's
enjoy
signage everywhere.
your walk out in the woods.
And I just said to Betsy, this is not going to end well. Like this, there's no man out there who is going to be this friendly
in the middle of the woods to Scarlett Johansson.
Yes. But yeah, I just kind of knew nothing was going to go well here. But she goes off into the woods. She finds this cottage in the middle of nowhere where there's a sign up saying, "Hey, hikers are welcome. Come on in. It'll be fine. Get out of whatever weather that's out there." And she does. And again, it's another long, quiet scene where nothing really happens except she's just kind of looking around, observing things.
And she falls asleep. And this was the first point where I was like, wait, she can sleep?
Yeah, she's never slept at any other point in the movie.
No, as far as I know, she has been awake since the moment she arrived driving that fucking van.
Yeah. And of course, she awakens to somebody trying to feel her up.
Yep, groping on her.
Yeah.
And she manages to get away.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the place she gets away to is his truck. And there's no keys in it.
Right. She was going to steal the truck, but he's got the keys.
Yep. And so the only choice she has is to run. But of course, he's big and strong, and he chases her, and he catches up to her.
Yep.
And he starts attacking her and ripping her clothes off. But in the process of ripping her clothes off, he rips her skin off, Trent.
Yeah.
And we get this first reveal finally. Again, this is the only other point in this movie where you would be like, oh, she's not human.
Right.
Because there's a big patch missing from the back at the small of her back and at the base of her neck going up to the top of her scalp.
Yeah.
It's all just black. And at this point, he freaks the fuck out.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, he runs away.
He runs away. And she peels off her skin suit. And she is just this black figure, the one that we saw in the void earlier.
Sure.
And it's just this moment where the black figure is staring at the face, the Scarlett Johansson face.
Yeah. And the face is still blinking, by the way.
Just contemplating.
Yeah. Regarding it
and its own awareness and its own existence. But it doesn't really get very long to do this because the man comes back and chucks gasoline on her and lights her on fire.
Yeah.
And then she just burns up and the movie is over.
Yeah. We get a panning shot up to the snow coming down, and we get one more shot of biker guy kind of looking around, but then all we see is the smoke kind of coming up from the burning body. And that's it.
And ash falling from the heavens / snow.
Yeah.
Because it's, again, kind of
It's
wintry
snow.
in the mountains.
Yeah, it's snow.
So, yeah, that's it. That's under the skin. So, yeah, I think this is one of those, if we dug into it, I get the description of this is a feminist piece in so much that it doesn't really start that way, but she sort of starts to claim her own humanity and her own femininity, only to discover that the men are men, and the men who control her have taken that away from her, so she doesn't even have femininity. And when she tries to take control, all she does is dies. So I don't know what I feel about the ending of this movie. Like you said, I don't know how you end this.
Yeah. How does she take over the hierarchy that is above her? Because clearly there are people above her that are telling her what to do, whether verbally or not. She's just under control of whatever this happens to be.
And she doesn't seem to be the first to be in this position. And she won't be the last.
Yeah, she has no agency over what she's doing. She just has to do it. And, I mean, it's a pretty easy gig, like having to find dumbass men to try to have them sleep with her. That's very easy. So
I suspect that these beings have a short shelf life, though.
I imagine
because
so.
It kind of seems like I don't know if they are using an actual human body to conceal themselves, or if they just are really good at mimicking human bodies.
Good at taking the organs out of bodies, so I imagine it is probably in just another skin suit.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, there are so many questions that will just go unanswered here. We're never going to get a satisfying answer anyway.
No, I think the only way you do that is if you talk to the filmmakers themselves, and even they are probably going to be coy about it.
Oh, they're going to say it's up to the audience. Wink, wink.
Yep.
So, all right. I've said all I wanted to say about this. I liked it, but again, there's just not a lot here, and the audience is left to fill in a lot of the blanks.
Yes.
So.
And the fact that I needed somebody to interpret it for me is helpful, but also hinders my ability in this moment to react.
Yeah.
I need someone to explain it to me.
Sure. You would have gotten it by the end, but like us saying in the intro that it's an alien succubus, that tells you all you really need to know about the movie, and you have to just fill in the rest. The only revelation that you are going to get as it's kind of doled out slowly is at the very end when the skin peels off.
Quite literally.
Yeah. So, again, Under the Skin as a title, it's very apt in a lot of different ways. So, hey, I give the title a 10 out of 10. All right. Well, that's going to be the end of this one. We have one more weird movie left. But before we get out of here, let's read a couple emails from Stephanie. Excuse me, superfan Stephanie. First, she's talking about an older one. She went and watched Thor: Love and Thunder because it just came to Disney+. She says, I finally watched the newest Thor. I really enjoyed this movie. Love Taika Waititi. I am not a fan of the first Thor movie, and honestly, I know I have seen Dark World, but could not answer any questions about it. Yeah, a lot of people would say that about Dark World. It's not a bad movie, for one thing. It is not a great Thor movie.
It's just sort of ho-hum.
Yeah, so
it's definitely the worst of the Thor.
Well, it's Thor teaming up with his brother, kind of going rogue, as it were, going against the crown and trying to save his girlfriend. But yeah, as a movie, it's not great. Definitely one of the weaker Marvel movies, for sure. She says, so I was a little iffy on them bringing Jane back. However, it worked for me and I enjoyed myself. I agree that the plot was whatever, but all of the pieces fit well together. I love Dad Thor. Valkyrie and Korg are great. The music is wonderful. I loved Christian Bale's character. He is a phenomenal actor and legitimately scary. He did make me cry a little at the very beginning and at the end when he is with his daughter.
The few moments where he has real emotional connection to what's going on in the scene versus just being vaguely evil.
Yeah, and he's another like villain, a Marvel villain that you can empathize with.
Definitely.
Yeah. And like I've read the article where, at the very beginning when he kills the first god, he did it on self-defense. Now, that sword did corrupt him and kind of suggest that he does it, but he does do it out of self-defense. So, hey. Anyway, back to the email. I do kind of like that this was a standalone story. The beginning did make me Jones for more Guardians, and I might watch one after my daughter goes to bed. The Guardians movies are really good. I'm really looking forward to the third one, and I'm disappointed that there's not going to be another one. We are going to get a Christmas special, though.
What now?
What? You don't know about this?
If I did, I've completely forgotten.
Betsy, there's going to be a Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special this year.
Is it a musical?
I don't think so.
Are they going the Star Wars route?
Yeah, that's the implication. They are going the Star Wars Christmas special.
I hate it. Also, I'm totally there.
Oh, we're absolutely doing that. So look forward to that. She says, the third Hemsworth is named Luke. Also, I love Melissa McCarthy. Talking about that acting scene again where they brought back Matt Damon and had the other Hemsworth in there. The only other thing that we know him from is Westworld.
Yep.
So, anyway. Screaming horrible goats. It was very funny at first, but it gets old very quickly. I think I said it in the episode. That's a joke that is funny, then it gets old, then it gets funny again.
That's one of those jokes the longer you lean into it, the funnier it becomes.
God damn it, you're going to laugh.
It's like David S. Pumpkins. Remember the first time we saw that? And I was like, this isn't funny. And then in the middle, I started giggling. And then by the end, I could barely breathe and I was
fucking crying how funny that was.
Because they were committed to the bit.
Yes.
And sometimes those jokes are the funniest. Like the screaming goats. They wear on you until they start getting funny again.
Yes. Finish up here. I really, really love the kids doing battle with the shadow monsters. So great. Love Roy from Ted Lasso, but I am not 100% sure about Hercules being a part of the MCU. Love you guys from Superfan Stephanie. Yeah, that's the teaser. There's going to be Hercules in the MCU guy.
Oh, there's
MCU now.
There's so many more things coming into the MCU.
Remember the end of Eternals? No, you don't. Nobody does. But what's-his-fuck showed up at the very end of the movie.
Oh, Harry Styles?
Harry Styles and Patton Oswalt.
Oh, fuck, that was Patton Oswalt. It wasn't him, it was his voice.
It's his voice doing something. But yeah, they're going to be in the MCU eventually.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, nobody remembers Eternals because nobody really wanted to see Eternals.
I want to watch it again. I want to give it another try.
I do too. And I think for our purposes, we're going to have to watch the beginning of Phase 4, whatever the fuck we're in now, before we kind of move on to whatever the next movie is.
9, 10, 11, whatever phase this is.
But like, we've only seen those movies and TV shows once. The rest of them we've seen multiple times.
Yeah.
So we got to give this
one another recommit.
We got to give this one another chance. All right, one more email from Stephanie. This one's about Pig, when we were doing our Nicolas Cage-a-thon. She says, so I watched Pig on Hulu. I had no idea what I was getting into with this one. It is sad, but very interesting. I found every longer conversation he has to be super compelling. Nick Cage is dirty, gross, and brilliant. Amir, that's his little helper guy, really grew on me. I was incredibly upset when we found out the fate of the pig, though. LOL at Trent, he said Nick Cage was rooting around for information about his truffle pig.
Rooting around.
Root, elbowing the air next to me. Root.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
She says, you weren't sure if he was going to cut himself off again or what, talking about the ending. He does say that he will see Amir again on Thursday, like always, and I like to think that they will be friends going forward. Plus, him listening to his tape all the way through gives me some hope that he is on his way to healing. Yeah, so he has this tape where it's a recording of his wife, I guess, his partner.
Singing him a song for his birthday.
Yeah, and he wasn't able to bring himself to listen to the entire thing at the beginning of the movie, and he finally does. So, who knows? She says, on the topic of city rivalries, we were talking about Seattle versus Portland, because they were kind of going back and forth. We're in Kansas City, Missouri, and we hate Kansas City, Kansas. Yeah, I get that. It's just across the border kind of a thing, but there's a lot of towns like that. Like, think about Fargo and Moorhead. 2 different states, 2 different things, but it's just across a river. You can literally throw a stone across there and hit another town.
Yep.
You could also say something about, people who technically live in New Jersey say that they live in New York City or some shit like that.
Oh, hell no. That's not acceptable.
Yeah, that's...
Real New Yorkers will cut you.
I always go back to there's a George Carlin joke saying, I am the ultimate New Yorker. I was born in New York County, New York City, and New York State, and I was conceived on Rockaway Beach. So he is the ultimate New Yorker in his mind. Anyway, back to the email. Overall, this was a really good movie. Super interesting, considering I also thought that it was going to be Hobo John Wick with a pig. I also watched Little Italy last night. It is a fun, though maybe offensive to Italians, rom-com with Hayden Christensen and Emma Roberts. Weird. Love you guys from Superfan Stephanie.
I am aware of Little Italy, and a part of my brain thinks I actually watched it at some point.
We had a conversation about it at one point. Not that we saw it or you saw it, but just like the concept
that
of
it
it.
existed.
Yeah, maybe we watched a trailer or something.
I'm sure we have watched a trailer for it.
Yeah, because there's like something in a restaurant, an Italian restaurant or something.
I mean, yeah, it's like rival Italian restaurants in Little Italy.
Yeah.
So like Romeo and Juliet things, but in Little Italy, New York.
I feel like we were trying to look at what Hayden Christensen had been up to.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we landed
So
on.
I genuinely don't know. Like, a part of me thinks I actually already watched that movie.
It's very possible.
But then the rest of me is like, I've never seen that. So the only way to find out is to watch it and find out. But I don't know if I have seen it or not.
If you did, it left such an impression upon you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so bad, I didn't give a shit.
That's where we got to end it for now. Thank you, Stephanie, for sending me both emails. And every single time you send us emails, it makes us laugh.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Yes. If you would like to be like Stephanie and become another super fan, you don't have to be like Stephanie and Nicole. Hi, Nicole. You do not have to listen to every single episode. You can just email us about your thoughts about any of the episodes that we're doing, any of the movies that you've been watching. We just like to talk about movies. Ask us a question. I want to have, eventually, I would love to have an all emails episode where we just riff about whatever you want us to talk about.
But that requires emails.
That would be fantastic, but that requires you guys to email us your thoughts, your questions, whatever you want to neverseenitpod@gmail.com. You can also submit your questions via Facebook and Instagram. Follow us on there if you don't have email. Who the fuck doesn't have email in 2022? But you know what? Not a lot of people really use email anymore. It's all social media. But that is Never Seen It Pod 1 on Facebook and Instagram. You can also follow us on Twitter. That is Never Seen It _pod on the Twitter. If you would like to support the show other than sharing your thoughts, you can share your money. Click the link in the podcast description and throw us $1 on Anchor. We would very much appreciate that. But Betsy, that is the end of this episode. We have one more weird movie that we're going to be covering here for this series, and then you know what's going to come after that, guys. But this next one will not be a surprise to those of you, let's just say, who have been with us over the past couple of months. We mentioned the movie. It's another weird one that I haven't seen, but Betsy has. You can guess it pretty easily. Anyway, we're not going to reveal that right now. I'm going to end the show by saying this has been Never Seen It. My name's Trent.
My name is Betsy.
And we will catch you next time.
Bye, guys.